In the Middle East, football inspires the same passion as anywhere else. And in a region beset by conflict, competing for the World Cup is a welcome opportunity to celebrate nationality on a worldwide stage. But the challenge facing Palestinian players begins much earlier than match day. For their national team, even getting to the match can be a monumental struggle. Bank of the Suez Canal is a luxurious sports resort, the temporary base for an aspiring World Cup squad. But the squad is Palestinian, and their training camp has not started well. On day 3, only 4 players have made it, and they're from Chile and Argentina. But Tamash, the Hungarian coach, is certain that their hearts are Palestinian.
You can feel, you can smell in the dressing room. You can smell it. You understand it? The Palestine roots. It gives you everything. You know, he's coming here not to fight against anybody. He's coming here to support his people, his poor people.
It's only 3 weeks to the qualifying match, which is against Iraq. The Palestinians have to train and play their matches abroad, where there are no curfews or military incursions. But Palestinians face tough Israeli travel restrictions. Getting his team together is Tamash's first challenge, and time is already running out.
I cannot start the preparation. Maybe I can start in the middle of the next week, if everybody is here.
Good, good. Come on. Take care for your ball. Okay, guys, come with me, please.
Half of the national squad live abroad. Others from the 5 million-strong Palestinian diaspora have become wealthy enough to fund the national team's World Cup dream. They are led by travel agent Taisir Barakat, who sunk $500,000 of his own money into the team.
They know the value of football, and they know if we succeed as a Palestinian in forming a strong national team, this would give a strong message to the world that these people, they deserve life, they deserve a state. And with the current situation, if they succeed to do this, what about with liberation? So they understand the value of our mission.
I set off for Gaza in search of the 10 missing players. The only way in is this tunnel. The Israeli soldiers at the border crossing told me, with straight faces, that this was the VIP entrance. So we're on the road to Gaza, about 1 hour away from Gaza. We're alongside this huge tank, which is going the same way. The Gaza Strip has been occupied by Israel since 1967. I arrived the day after one of Israel's largest military incursions of the Second Intifada, which started almost 5 years ago. Over 130 Palestinians have been killed, and the streets are almost deserted. Next morning, I have a meeting at one of Gaza's best football pitches. I'm waiting for 32-year-old Ziad El-Kurd, Palestine's star striker. Married with 3 daughters, he gets paid to play for Palestine as if he were doing his military service. And this is where you train?
We train here. This is the Football Association's field. It needs to be grassed over. We're building seats there. Because of the lack of pitches in Gaza, we all have to practice here. Our team and all the others.
For a visitor, it's difficult to talk without being distracted by the constant buzzing in the sky. And this noise is the drone plane? The sound we can hear is the drone plane?
Yes, it is. It's up there most of the time. It can attack at any time. It might fire at the houses or the guys, but on the whole, life goes on as normal, despite planes or attacks. People keep playing football. Everyone carries on, because it's an international game. People love it, and it's a popular pastime here. Until a week ago, for 17 days running, they were firing from the air and from tanks on the ground.
2 weeks before I arrived, the Israelis started their incursion after Hamas fired homemade Qassam rockets over the border into Israel. In what Hamas later claimed as a victory over the enemy, the rockets found a target and killed 2 Israeli toddlers.
Children were killed in front of the kindergarten. It was clear that the Israeli government had an obligation to protect its civilians, and the operation will take place as long as there are Qassams, rockets, mortars coming out of the Gaza Strip.
Of the 130 Palestinians killed during the operation, at least 26 were children. Just a few days later, I see for myself the extent of the destruction.
They don't care if there are children or women or sick people in the house. We couldn't get our children's clothes. We came out like this. We couldn't even get milk for the children. We just got out because the house was collapsing around us.
Israeli security measures include a travel ban on all males between 16 and 35 years old. Ziad is at the Palestinian Football Association to see if he can get special permission to travel.
ايش خلصت الدوام؟ حرام عليك يا زلمه. خلص الدوام؟ ابو عاشور تحسن مش عارف شو القرار انا؟ اصلا قبل بيجتمع اخذ مني الاجتماع انا عارف شو القرار. ماله؟
It's always been difficult for native Palestinians to join the team abroad. Under FIFA rules, you only need one Palestinian grandparent to be able to play for the Palestinian team, though that throws up a different problem.
It's very difficult to mix them up together, you know. One will come from the United States, some of them from the Chile, one from Argentina, one from Colombia, from Gaza, from West Bank naturally, from Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and so on.
The Latin Americans are the professional face of Palestinian football. Last time they played Iraq, the equaliser was scored by Roberto Ketlun. Roberto quit a top Greek club to come here, but he's sure it's worth the sacrifice.
Every player, when he gets called for his national team, he gets surprised and happy. It was very important to my father because he's the one who has the Palestinian root in my family. My mother has Italian root. And he, with my grandfather, they were very excited about the idea.
Good.
None of the Latin American players was born in Palestine. None speaks Arabic, and all are of mixed descent.
Pablo, do you believe his name? Pablo Abdallah.
Roberto and Pancho have a night off, so they go and see a local match, where they receive a hero's welcome.
And everywhere where I have been, when some people find that I am Palestinian or there's some people seen, they react very, very well. They're very friendly. Everybody used to say welcome, and they are very respectful, which is, I am glad. Proud, for sure.
Locals Ismailia are playing Cairo club Zamalek in a Middle Eastern derby. They play hard, and it's a warning to the Palestinians from Chile.
It's a very, very fast style. The speed of their game is very high, and I think this is good because the people enjoy this, and it's a good show. It's a great atmosphere.
"150 miles away in Gaza, the atmosphere is very different. Almost 1.4 million Palestinians live on a thin strip of land just 27 miles long. Yet a quarter of this scarce land is used exclusively by about 7,500 Israelis, living in illegal settlements. Over the last 4 years, the Israeli army has bulldozed or exploded nearly 3,000 Palestinian homes, largely to make a secure zone around the settlements and borders. Palestine star striker Ziad has warned me that these can be dangerous places.
So he asked me to wear my flak jacket because we're in full view of the military outpost, and he said we're being watched at all times. If they see press TV on our jackets, they might not shoot.
Ziad has a house near this settlement, or rather, he used to.
The house was 417 square meters.
Where is the house?
I don't know where the house is. On the 2nd of September, the Israelis came here, put in explosives and blew up the house. They claim there was a tunnel here, but there's nothing of the sort.
Ziad had rented his house to a family. The father of the family was accused of digging a tunnel to attack nearby Jewish settlers.
See here, there's some here.
There's an Israeli military settlement there, and they claim that the tunnel will go to the settlement. These houses have also been damaged. You can't make out one from the other. They're pretty much destroyed. This is the way things are.
Israel later admitted there was no tunnel and dropped all charges. Ziad has received no compensation. If that weren't bad enough, because he was once under suspicion, he is now banned from travelling. So the team will have to do without their #1 striker. It's Friday prayers, and because it's the holy month of Ramadan, the mosque has overflowed into the street. Ramzi Saleh, the Palestinian goalkeeper, is here with his neighbours and family. The players seem to have no celebrity status, and their lives are much the same as everybody else's. After prayers, Ramzi takes me to his local sports club, which he's heard was destroyed while he was out of the country. Although funded by US aid, the club was demolished during the recent incursion. We meet Issa Daher, the deputy mayor of Jabalia. He's also a director of Ramzi's club and has mentored him all the way to the national team.
I used to come here every day. It was the only place for the guys from Jabalia camp to hang out. It was our club. I'm shocked. It's the first time I've seen it because I was out of the country when it was hit.
The bulldozers came from that area which they'd occupied. They came into the garden and destroyed everything.
Well, what do you think their aim is when they destroy a place like this?
It's collective punishment. This wasn't a place that could harm them. There are some buildings left standing. This is a place where a lot of people used to come and relax and enjoy themselves with their families and friends.
Nursing school and shooting.
Yeah.
We're at the only grass pitch in Gaza. It's a special match to celebrate Ramadan. I've heard about a big row within the Football Association. Ramzi and 5 other players had been told to stay on in Egypt after the last game. But they didn't. They came home to see their families. Now the association has to decide. Does it tolerate the players' behaviour and help the national team? Or does it exert its own authority and suspend them?
How many of the Gaza players do you think will be allowed to leave Gaza and play against Iraq?
On Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be a hearing with the players who didn't stay on at the camp. After that, the association will discuss the results of the investigation, and then they'll take a decision.
The goalkeeper, Ramsey, he's the only one at the minute who can definitely travel for the match against Iraq.
At the moment, he's not allowed. Ramsey's been asked to appear in front of the committee, like all the other players. After the hearing, once the committee decides, the association will decide who will travel and who will not.
In Gaza, nothing is free from politics.
And the match in Qatar, what do you think will happen between Palestine and Iraq?
We don't care whether we win or lose. It's enough that two occupied nations will be meeting in a foreign country. They can't play in their homelands. Neither Palestine nor Iraq can play at home. Why? Because of America. America is the head of the snake all over the world. It's controlling the world and it's policing the world. We completely reject the occupation. We are heart and soul with Iraq. Whatever we have in soul, in spirit, in heart, we're all with Iraq. The Palestinian and the Iraqi issues are twins.
Back at the association's HQ, Ramsey and the other players wait for a decision. Will their own side let them play against Iraq? Then Ziad turns up. He's not under investigation and is banned by Israel from travelling anyway. He's just here for solidarity. The tension mounts as everybody waits for a decision.
سنتين في نادي و5 سنين منتخب. اقسم بالله لو توكلني في اتحادك لاقتلكم. والله غير حسبك عليه. يا زلمه ليش تحاسبني؟ والله وكسب الله غير تتحاسب عليه كلام عشان تيجي انت تقعد محل الاتحاد يا رمزي. يا رجل انت عشان تقعد محل الاتحاد يا رمزي. تخيل الاتحاد مين انت يا رجل عشان تخيل الاتحاد؟ انت في 37 نادي هو اللي حط الاتحاد مش انت اللي حط الاتحاد. ايش؟ نمزح ولا شو اللي بتمزح انت؟ بتحكي جد خلص. انا بتحمل نفس الكلام خالص اذا بتحكي جد. كل مره الاتحاد. جمال سجل رمزي قاعد في مطعم الاتحاد مش عاجبه ولا عضو في الاتحاد سجل مطعم الاتحاد توكل على الله ماشي.
In the pressure cooker atmosphere of Gaza, the Palestinians are taking their frustrations out on each other.
نتوكل على الله نتوكل على الله تركنا هو فيها كمان عضو اتحاد هيك بيعمل في واحد يا راجل. انا خليتك زلمه يا رمزي عراس خلاص يا عراس انا بقيت مره يعني ماشي. انا اللي خليتك رمزي خليتك تنعرف في العالم كله حسب عليك مواقف. انا اللي قاعد
I think it's ironic that normally you don't get permission from the Israelis and now you're maybe not getting permission from your own federation.
This is the fourth Ramadan they've been away from home. It's not a crime to come for 4 or 5 days holiday with their families. I think that even if they allowed me to play, I wouldn't. I'm sorry because they've made us look so bad. They're judging us like criminals. This is something I cannot accept.
So the team could be without the goalkeeper, the star striker and 9 other players from Gaza Strip. What will that mean to their chances?
I don't know. They'll rely more on the players from the diaspora. I wish them all the best. Whether I play or somebody else, we're all representing Palestine.
2 weeks to the World Cup qualifier. All but one of the Gaza players are suspended by their own football federation. Own goal? As the star striker and only Gaza player left with any hope of representing Palestine, Ziad asks FIFA to help.
What's the latest news on your travel permit?
A rejection came. FIFA informed us that the Israeli Federation has refused for security reasons. If they've got security concerns, they're welcome to come and imprison me. But they don't have anything on me. They're only doing this to ruin the Palestinian team.
The Football Federation has appealed the decision?
The day before yesterday. Rejected.
Ziad, like every other Gaza player, will be spending more time with his family. And I'm leaving for Egypt, alone. I'll have to break the news to Tamash. None of the players from Gaza will be representing Palestine. At the border town of Jericho, I meet the Palestinian players from the West Bank. Osama Abu Alia is a 25-year-old farmer and defender for the national team. We'll cross into Jordan and then catch a plane to Egypt. But the border between the West Bank and Jordan is controlled by the Israeli military, and delays are routine. Ala Haloub is the Football Association's man in charge.
So how long should the journey from Jericho to Amman take?
Normally, without stops at the border, it's a 1-hour journey.
And then how long could it take?
It depends on the Israelis. It might be 3 days. It might take us 6 hours, maybe 8. These people have been here for 2 days.
We're lucky and get through in just 6 hours. Such complicated logistics are a drain on funds. Yet the man picking up the tab sees it as a privilege.
By the time God give me little wealth, I'm trying to put big part of it to serve my Palestinian people, because they save us in return, you know. People, you know, inside Palestine, they struggle and they keep our identity alive. So in that, I would pay kind of tax for them, for the honor they give to me.
You must be Thomas.
Hi, Ben. How are you doing?
You're good. How are you doing? And you?
And how was the trip?
Okay, took a long time.
So what happened in Gaza?
Yeah, they said...
Any news?
They said last Saturday would be the final decision. Then they said this Saturday would be the final decision. Now they're saying on Wednesday. At the minute, they're suspended. So it sounds like none of them will be coming.
We will miss them.
And that's including your star striker and the goalkeeper?
Of course, my first goalkeeper and the best defenders and the good strikers. Actually, we are on 14. Our number is 14. It's better than nothing. We are waiting for the player from Syria, from Lebanon, from Kuwait. He has arrived. Sorry, I have to...
Okay.
Just a second. Hello?
He's talking to Taisir. Maybe he's going to get some good news, but it sounds like he's not expecting good news from anywhere.
It was a serious call from our boss, you know?
Yeah, that's Taisir.
Mr. Taisir, yeah, he just warned me about the players and who can come, who not. This is terrible.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know when will they arrive, who will arrive. But it's a very hard job for Mr. Taisir.
The team, or at least a team, is finally assembled. Morad Farid is a 25-year-old banker from New York. He's played college-level football in America and was unknown to the Palestinian staff.
I read an article in the Wall Street Journal talking about the team and how they were trying to qualify for the World Cup, and I got in touch with the author of the article, who directed me to the coach, and I told him I was of Palestinian origin and I played soccer.
It's probably one of the few national teams where the players contact them, play for the team, rather than vice versa.
Well, actually, if you look on their website now, I mean, it shows it's like basically they're advertising for any potential players to contact them.
السلام عليكم. لاعب جديد؟ يلا سلام. ثاني حبيبي. تمام؟ زين؟ الحمد لله. متابعا أكيد؟
So here we are, 14 players instead of 30, cobbled together from 9 countries, speaking almost as many languages.
I think we are all Palestinian and every player try to cooperate in order to manage well the atmosphere inside the team. Not every player speaks English, not all the players speak Arabic, so It's an interesting mix, but inside the field and outside the field, we're all friends.
I'm so proud to be your head coach.
طبعا هو فخور فيكم يا اخوان انه فخور انه هو كمان يكون انه هو المدير الفني.
Fortunately, we know each other.
طبعا حسن حظ انه احنا كلياتنا بنعرف بعضنا.
And I hope we will do a great job. Okay, we should do good work first of all and then a good game.
تعالوا جوا الملعب.
By the end of the first training session, Tamash is suddenly looking much more confident.
Now I'm so happy, much more happy than before.
It's still Ramadan, and training is especially difficult when you can't eat during daylight hours. But the Christians from South America observe the holy month along with their Muslim teammates. Some players are finding the experience of this team life-changing.
It's really a monster of an issue for me. I mean, it's become sort of central to everything I think about. It's made me obviously understand so much better what it means to be Palestinian. I have to do something. I mean, I can't just continue to live my life. I have to literally get involved and help because there's so much that needs to happen.
For the Latin American professionals, the national team is also about exposure on the world stage. But once again, it looks like there may not be a national team.
Today we have our first friendly match, and we are only 12 players.
The 12 are then reduced to 11 when the main striker gets injured. But overall, the game's a success, both for the team and the coach.
Thomas has been experimenting a lot with different formations and they're starting to look like they can really play.
That's been a great goal.
1 week later, and we have travelled without restrictions 1,300 miles east to Doha, capital of the Gulf state of Qatar. It's the end of Ramadan, and a precious holiday for the 400,000 foreigners who serve the 150,000 wealthy Qataris. Money from oil and gas means that the native Qataris enjoy the highest per capita income in the world. This glittering, if antiseptic, new city is where the Palestinians play their home games. The match is only days away, and with 3 players already out, Tamash can't afford any more injuries. So when a player forgets his shin pads, he snaps.
What is it?
He forgot him.
Don't forget. Will you forget to play in the game? Unbelievable.
Murad has to act as diplomat as well as interpreter.
Sorry? He said they got very hurried to get ready, and that's why they forgot that.
Okay, no problem. I understood. From now, please try to concentrate for the game. Prepare all your body and all your mind for the game. Especially now, also on the field, I want you 100% concentration for the exercises. Okay, any question? Captain? Doctor? Nothing?
Thank you.
Okay, okay Shabab? Jazz? Ready? Steady? Yalla Shabab, go!
However hard they train, the Palestinians are going to have their work cut out. Their opponents, the Iraqi national team, surprised the world when they reached the bronze medal playoffs in last year's Olympics.
The team was able to get a great result considering we don't have adequate facilities and pitches like other countries. We got a result which many European countries failed to achieve.
Several members of the Iraqi team now live in Doha. They've left their war-torn homeland to play for local Qatari clubs. They get together to drink Iraqi tea and watch the satellite news from home.
Every 3 or 4 months we get together for training with the national team, and at the same time we follow events on TV. We can see that things are bad, and we're very sad about that. When we get together, we always talk about the situation in Iraq. What's happening? Where's the latest explosion?
They play a video game customised for the national side. Imad Mohammed, Iraq's midfield star, shares the Palestinians' view of football as a force for national unity.
I'm a Shia player. Most of my friends are Sunnis or Christians. In Iraq, I never asked anyone about their religion, whether they were Sunni or Shia. We share rooms and meals, and we pray, and none of us uses these terms. However, in recent times, we started to hear terms like Shia and Sunni.
Meanwhile, Tamash's problems just keep growing. He's got a tiny squad and his best striker is injured. Now, during shooting practice, the ball is going everywhere but in the net.
Three days to go before the big match. Shooting practice. And they can't score. There's another one just gone way over the bar.
I'm not happy about it. Everybody is very slow, sleeping actually now, you know? Not fresh, the team. After this is my job, tomorrow, after tomorrow, to refresh them.
And why do you think they're slow and sleepy?
About the traveling and about the circumstances now, you know, about the very bad organization. This local guy, he doesn't understand anything about how to organize for a team, how to prepare. A professional team coming and everything must be open, yeah?
Yeah.
And prepared.
And then no lights on, no keys for the stadium, no...
First time he could not find the stadium. Unbelievable. Okay, no. But I'm down about the players. For very important players are injured.
It looked like that in shooting practice. It looked like the play was fine, but the actual shooting didn't look...
This is the level of the players, what to do. You have to cook with this, your own soup. Okay, thank you.
Training is now a long way behind schedule. The squad's reduced, tired and injury-ridden, so Tamas gives them a morning off. Murad's planning to visit the West Bank for the first time in 13 years. He hasn't yet told his parents.
Are your mum and dad worried?
They know I haven't been back there since a really long time. I think they're more worried about my personal, emotional reaction to things than necessarily my safety, because right now I don't know how bad it is.
Here, in the baking heat of the Persian Gulf, is an ice rink. But what the Palestinians are really looking for is presents for their families. It's hard not to see them as the Arab world's poor relations. They're given expenses of only $12 a day. That doesn't buy much in a place like Qatar.
Expensive.
The cost of new boots is peanuts to most international players, but it's a lot for the West Bankers. The association gives them each a pair, but they don't always fit. We're trying to change some, and it's not easy.
They've got the latest, nicest, flashiest boots, but they haven't got The
Most
basic ones they're trying to exchange.
In order to exchange it, it has to be the same pair. If it doesn't fit exactly right, then what do you do? It's like, hey, we gave you a pair of boots, but it's a little small, but we gave it to you anyway. So I guess if it doesn't fit, you do, you know?
Today I want to buy a phone card to call my wife and children to see how my son is. He has a problem with his throat. I hope it's nothing serious, because when I spoke to my wife, she said there's a possibility he might have an operation to remove a cyst.
Osama has chosen a flying saucer for his sick son, but it's expensive.
This is $52.
It flies up.
When you come to a place like this where you can travel freely, there's no soldiers, and do you ever think about taking your family and leaving the West Bank?
To leave our home, our land, Palestine, that's not possible.
The team is allowed one training session in the stadium where they'll be playing the match. It's been built for the 2006 Asian Games. The perfect grass pitch is maintained in the middle of the desert at vast expense. The contrast with the Palestinians' ground in Gaza couldn't be greater. They're looking good, but Roberto's out of the game. He's cracked a bone in his foot.
I will be unable to play tomorrow.
Definitely?
Definitely, yes. Today I tried to walk, and I can barely walk.
But has it been a wasted journey, or do you still feel like you've gained something from the trip?
I'm a little sad because I have been here for almost 3 weeks preparing this match, and 4 days before I get injured, so bad luck.
The rest of the Iraqi players have just arrived in Doha, and Imad's off to join his teammates.
What we have in common with the Palestinians is Islam. We consider both countries to be under occupation, but the immediate future for Iraq is more promising than Palestine. The Palestinians have been under occupation for a very long time. When we play against them, it's just like any other football game. We just concentrate on football and don't busy ourselves with politics.
The teams are staying in the same hotel, and Imad bonds instantly with the Palestinians. But in a few hours' time, they must put any feelings of brotherhood aside. Both sides badly need 3 points if they're going to stand any chance of qualifying for the World Cup. Before that, there's some pre-match bureaucracy. The Palestinian officials are at the sleek headquarters of the Qatari Football Association. They're here to see FIFA, one of the few organisations in the world that recognises a Palestinian state.
This is the strip for the players. It's a combination of the colours of the Palestinian flag. This is the goalkeeper's shirt.
The Iraqis are there too. FIFA rules insist that officials prove their players' nationality. For once, Palestinian passports actually have some value. It's the night of the World Cup qualifier between Iraq and Palestine. But the car park is empty. As we pull in, there are no fans to greet the team. The Palestinians asked the Iraqis if they'd play the match in Jordan, where thousands of their supporters would have turned out. But brotherhood has its limits, and the Iraqis chose a place where neither side has any local support.
This is absolutely tragic. There's about 1 minute, 2 minutes to go till kick-off. In fact, they're about to kick off, and there are 4, 8, 10, no more than 30 or 40 fans here. Neither team can play at home for obvious reasons, so they're reduced to playing here in front of almost nobody.
At least someone at home is watching. The match goes live all over the Middle East, including Gaza. Also watching are Murad and Osama, who start the match on the bench. The Palestinians in green start well. Their fans all move together to ensure that they're heard. It looks like the goals are bound to come, but they can't quite finish their chances, and the first half ends 0-0. For Taysir at least, even matching the Iraqis is a triumph.
Whatever they are doing, for me, it's a miracle.
So if they can play this well, with all the obstacles and with all the West Bank players not playing competitive football, and with no Gaza players, then if they were completely free, they could do anything.
As soon as the second half starts, the Palestinians give away a penalty. From there, they fall apart. But for one player, a dream is about to be fulfilled. Murad, the college player from Wall Street, gets to represent his homeland.
To be able to play not just soccer, but to be able to play it for Palestine is something that literally was inconceivable. I mean, I would never, ever believe it if somebody would have told me I'd be doing that.
It's not much of a consolation, but in the last minutes, the Palestinians manage a goal. The final score is 4-1 to Iraq.
We will not lose hope, we will keep continue. Difficulties will continue to be there till the dream come true and we have independent state. For sure, we will have a strong team in Asia, for sure, once we are settled in our country.
Is this the Palestinian state of mind, this eternal optimism, even after a 4-1 loss?
Yeah, that's
You're still straight away saying we can still build, there's still positives,
yeah, for sure, yes. We are always optimistic that tomorrow will come with the good things. Part of it football, part of it good life in our independent state, which hope will come soon.
Yeah.
One day we might win the World Cup. Don't know. Everything has a start.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The next day, Murad isn't getting on a plane to America. He's travelling to the West Bank with us. It's his first visit to Palestine for 13 years.
We stopped going when the situation started getting pretty bad because it became difficult to enter and leave. Since I've been playing with the team, I've been dying to go back. Just literally dying. We're in Nablus because this is where my mom grew up. I have still lots of family here, uncles, aunts, cousins. And I actually have like my best memories of the West Bank here. So I wanted to make this my first stop.
The reunion in Nablus is a happy end to Murad's journey with the Palestinian team. For the players coming home, however, it's back to the uphill struggle of life under occupation. And an unpleasant surprise for Osama. His father has received a letter telling him that the Israeli army is confiscating a large piece of their land. The family has farmed this land for 200 years.
Of course, they'll build on our land. I don't know what will happen in the next 20 years. In the last month, I went to Egypt for 2 weeks to play for the national team, 2 weeks of training. I came back and found the whole place had changed. The land has been cleared, and there are the beginnings of a settlement.
The Israelis have announced that they are building a military outpost on the hill. They don't ask permission, and they don't offer any compensation.
So you get the letter, within 2 weeks they start work, and there's nothing you can do to challenge it.
After they take over, they say go to the civilian authorities. Complain to them.
They confiscate it. They come to the land with the army, tanks, bulldozers. They clear away all the stones. If you go near, they shoot you. We see it as a cancer. Little by little it grows, and by the end it takes over.
He found it straight away.
Yeah.
Osama's only compensation is being reunited with his family. His son may still have to go to hospital, but the present from Qatar is a massive hit. Murad's homecoming is about family and friends too. He's found some of the boys he played football with as a child.
No, I remember this field very specifically. I remember playing right there. I remember you well when
I've asked Murad to play a little five-a-side game. Yeah, we have to play now.
It's obvious that the Palestinians will never give up. My journey with them shows me that as long as they live under such restrictions, they'll never have any chance of qualifying for the World Cup.
Tomorrow night, follow a group of athletes from Sierra Leone as they prepare for the Athens Olympics, bidding to restore national pride after almost all of their team disappeared during the Manchester Commonwealth Games. Small Pain for Glory from Storyville on BBC 4 tomorrow at 10.